This is a little bit of a strange area because it's between Maida Vale, Portobello and Notting Hill and Queen's Park. I think we merged three characters, they are very, very different. Maida Vale is quite elegant and a little bit secret in a way, not many people know about it in London. Portobello and Notting Hill, completely the opposite, but there is the fantastic market and the shops and it's very buzzing and very full of fun. Queen's Park is much more family oriented, so we are in the middle and it's quite nice to be able to choose. My name is Margherita Thumiger and I'm an architect. I was born in Milano and then I studied architecture in Milano and then in Barcelona. And in 2000 I came to London. Well, I would say it's very classic Victorian terrace. I think it was built around 1860. Almost workers' cottages, basically. The only thing is that our house is the last of the terrace, so it's a sort of double. And this is why I liked it. We made very tall openings, floor to ceiling, so the light comes through quite in a nice way during the day. And I kept it, I would say, quite minimalistic. The staircase is quite serious. It looks black, but actually it's blue, very dark blue. Last year, when I became very scared of all these bills for the heating, I decided to put curtains everywhere. So past the entrance door, I put a curtain that is actually a very textured fabric. So it's quite transparent, but it traps the heat quite well. I toyed for a little bit with the idea of having a very utilitarian kitchen with everything out, knives and pots and pans. But then actually, I needed to make it a little bit more multifunctional because you know that we run our office from here as well, me and Louise. So the kitchen is also the dining room, and most of the time it's also meeting room because we got a meeting room, but clients really like to sit in the kitchen and have a cup of coffee and these sorts of things. So I really needed the kitchen itself to withdraw a little bit, almost to retreat. This is why I decided to make it black. And actually it was a very happy idea in a way because every food looked amazing on black, oranges and tomatoes. So it makes me very happy to cook in the black kitchen. And it's quite minimalistic, but the materials I use are quite rich. The kitchen itself is black MDF. It's not painted, the material is black, lacquered. And then we used Zimbabwe granite for the top and the splashback. It's actually great material, so strong and so black. And it's tumbled, so it's got a very fine texture. It is not shiny at all, a little bit Japanese kind of aesthetic. And then the island has got a piece of very decorative marble. Unfortunately, the marble is getting very battered because it's very delicate, but it's fine. We like it like that. These were two rooms, of course, the front and the back room. And I open it up. It's very nice because this is west-east, so it changes so much during the day. And actually, I cram so many functions in this room. So there is a big table that is for homeworks, for meetings. Most of my serious meetings happen here. It's great for dinner parties. I also like the fact that we got all the books around, so at night it's really nice to dine with the books. My monstera that's growing and growing, become really a monster. And then we got the seating area that is arranged under the bay. So we did a massive sofa, a little bit Moroccan style. That is actually a built-in kind of thing, a bench with a couple of mattresses on top that sits under the bay window. It's also very comfortable to sleep on, so sometime in the summer we have naps. Yeah, and there are a lot of objects around the house that I didn't particularly look for. I think they looked for me and I saw them, and then they fit perfectly well in the space. There is a very old Chinese dresser we bought with Massimo in Portobello probably 18 years ago, when Portobello had completely different shops, a lot of fantastic antique shops and so on. And we like it. It's a very old piece of furniture. Parts of it are very old and parts of it have been built later. And it was used to keep alive chicken in the lower part and food on the top part, and got some funny system of ventilation. and is now in my sitting room. Yeah, and then one thing that everybody likes, especially the children, is the projector that comes down from the ceiling. I grew up with no TV. For me, TV is a little bit like a guilty pleasure. So it's nice to have this projector that disappears in the ceiling and we project onto the wall. We toyed with the idea of buying a screen, but then too much for me. We project on the wall. On the wall, that massive thing you saw is a kelp that I found in Scotland. I was so surprised that there are algae that are so big. I never saw such a big algae in my life. So I scooped it up, I put it in a massive, I think it was a Tesco bag, and I dragged it all the way, first to Liverpool, where I tried to dry it in my friend's garden, but it didn't dry. And then I brought it to London. It was still, you know, soft, and I laid it in the garden and it dried. And it's such a beautiful material, almost transparent. I couldn't not have it in the house, so I hung it up there. So we have our bedroom that is very simple, because I really like to have a very simple bedroom. I couldn't look at a wardrobe, for example. I always want to put the clothing somewhere else. A tiny dressing room, let's call it, yeah, a passage that is a dressing room, and a massive bathroom. I know the bathroom is a bit too big, but I'm very happy that I have it. The bathroom is all clad with these handmade Moroccan tiles. They're called zelige, and they are all a little bit irregular. And it's a sort of ivory color that I really like when the sun hits it. And that's it, I think. There are these two pieces of furniture, this little secretaire we got each side of the bed. We use them as a bedside table. I bought one, and then 5 years later I found its twin in Portobello Market, so I couldn't not buy it, and now they are proudly flanking my bed. For children bedrooms, I always recommend to my clients not to spend too much money, because I think really children should be allowed to be a little bit rough with their bedrooms, and also they grow and they change mine, and nothing is as sad as a, you know, pink bedroom with butterflies for a 17-year-old girl that goes around with piercings. My children are architect children, so I wanted to give them a little bit of a design input. So my son has got the bookworm Ron Arad bookcase that is like a big spiral on the wall, and my daughter has got this very red desk that actually is one of the pieces of furniture we found in the house when we bought it, and it was brown and nothing special. We kept it all along the works, and then she chose this very bright tomato red, and we painted it together, and now it's her desk. Between my son and my daughter bedrooms, I cut a little slice and I fit there a bathroom with 2 doors, Jack and Jill doors. It's quite small, but has got everything they need. A lot of shelves for their stuff and swimming implements. And we got planning permission for a round window that brings light. For me, a bathroom is very important, has a window and fresh air. With this house, because the light changes so much throughout the day, I actually have got different spots for different times. In the morning, I like my bathroom because the light hits the zelige tiles in a way that is so nice. And I can see the changing season because the sun hits the tiles in different positions. In late afternoon, after I finish work, is the kitchen because the western light comes in and it works beautifully on the walls.
Could you tell us something surprising about yourself?
That I really would like not to live in a house. I would like to live in a tent, or maybe in a yurt, how you pronounce it. I've done so many houses and I sort of question every little corner. That sometimes my dream is really to live under a piece of canvas.